Last Saturday at Vibe, Jake was pressed up against some brunette girl's back, dancing provocatively right in front of me, locking eyes with me the whole time like some kind of sociopath who wanted me to witness him utterly degrade me in public. I'm typing this out now, still so furious I can barely think clearly. This guy stared straight into my soul while his hands roamed over this random girl, and then said the most vile thing I've ever heard anyone say. Let me backtrack for a moment because I know you're all wondering why I was even there. Jake and I have been together for 10 months, and yes, I know that's not forever, but it felt serious. We moved in together after 5 months because his apartment lease ended, and I was naive enough to believe it meant something special. My family lives a couple of hours away, and I stayed in this city after finishing college. Jake earns a solid income and loves to brag about how he's got his life together compared to other guys our age. He's 27, I'm 25, and he's always pointing out how much more worldly he is than me. That was the first warning sign I completely ignored like a fool. So last Saturday, Jake decided we were going out with his colleagues to celebrate a big deal he closed at work. I should have sensed something was off because he spent ages getting ready, switching shirts 4 times, and dousing himself in cologne. When I asked if my red dress looked okay, he just mumbled that I looked decent. That's not out of character, though. Jake rarely compliments me unless he's after something. We arrive at the club and his entire demeanor shifts. He's buying rounds for everyone, acting like he owns the place, and making snide remarks about how the women there are dressed like they're actually making an effort. Every time a server comes by, he's all charm and grins, chatting them up like they're old friends. With me, he barely acknowledges I'm there. About an hour in, I'm chatting with Sarah, one of his coworkers, near our table when Jake sidles up behind this brunette at the bar. She's in a tight gold dress, undeniably stunning, I'll admit. But what happened next was so deliberate and cruel that I still can't believe it went down. Jake starts dancing with her, which fine, we weren't glued to each other. But then he positions himself so I have a clear view of everything. I swear he orchestrated it because he keeps glancing at me while he's all over this girl. His hands are on her hips, then lower, and she's moving against him, clearly into it. The music was loud, but not loud enough to drown out what he said when he leaned into her ear, making her laugh. Then he looked right at me and mouthed, "This is what a real woman looks like." It felt like a punch to the gut. Sarah saw it too because she grabbed my arm and suggested we step outside, but I was frozen. I just stood there watching my boyfriend of 10 months publicly humiliate me in the worst way possible. And it gets uglier. So much uglier. After about 10 minutes of this performance, the girl's friends pulled her away to dance elsewhere. Jake strolled back to our table like it was nothing, ordered another drink, and when I tried to pull him aside to talk, he chuckled and said I was overreacting. I told him what he did was completely out of line and that I wanted to leave. Jake looked at me like I'd said something ridiculous and said, "Babe, you're not pretty enough for me to cheat on. That was just dancing." The whole table went silent. Sarah audibly gasped. His friend Marcus muttered, "Man, that's cold," under his breath. Jake just stood there, smirking like he'd told a great joke. I was so stunned I couldn't speak at first. Then the rage hit, and I can't tell you the full story in short. To watch the full story, click the related link below.